Okay, let's go.
Hi, my name is Seth Lesson. You are welcome to mathematics class. And today we are looking SURD. SURD. We are looking SURD. Now, what do we mean by SURD? A SURD can be irrational number and rational number. Now, what do we mean by SURD? There is a SURD like this. When we have like this, 4, and we have 2. This one, we refer this one as what? Rational number. We have this one, rational number, and this one, non-rational number. Because you can find the root of this this one is what? 2. This one will give you 1 point something. Anyone that give you 1 point something or give you a decimal, and is not a what? Is not a rational number. This one is non-rational number. That's what we are doing in what? In SURD. Now, but before we can understand deepest in SURD, we need to understand the meaning of addition in SURD, subtraction in SURD, multiplication in SURD, and division in SURD. SURD are very important in mathematics, as we have already said earlier when you are watching from the beginning of this episode and from the beginning. Now, let us begin with what? SURD. Now, we want to be looking at addition in SURD. Addition in SURD. Now, what do we mean by addition in SURD? In addition in SURD, there is a way of doing it in addition in SURD. When we have 2a, when we have square root a, when we have square root 2 square root 2 plus 2 square root 2. How can we do this one? This is addition. What do we do? The first thing that you need to do, you need to multiply, you need to what? You need to plug this one and this one together. 2 plus 2 is what? 4. And you pick one on this one, which is what? 2. Now, another one. When we have 13 root 17 plus 4 root 17. Can we give us the answer? Just add 13 plus 4. 13 plus 4 is 17. We now pick one on 17 will be what? 17. This is number 2. Number 3 now. Example number 3. When we have like 3 root 5 plus 4 root 5. 4 root 5. Now, how can we get the answer? This 3 plus 4 is what? 7. You write the word root 5. These are the addition in what? In SURD. There are some SURD that you need to understand in a deepest way. Let us look at, we are still looking at addition. Now, they can give you like this in expressing. Notice all this one, when we have like 20 like this, 20. This 20, you need to express it in SURD because it have never been in SURD. This 20, you find the rational number and non-rational number. And I've already told you that rational number, we have rational number. Rational number are what? 4, 6, 9, 16, 32, 36, 64, and so on and so forth. This is what? Rational number. Irrational number now are what? Are 2, root 3, root 6, root 7, root root 11, root 13, and so on and so forth. This is what? Rational number and non-rational number. Now, there are some SURD that they will give us. You have to understand that rational number, the word rational number, what is the answer of this one? This one is 2. This one is 3, 4, 6. This one is 8. But this one will give you point when you are getting the root. Now, let us look at it one after the other. Now, I want you to understand the SURD. When they give you root 20, how can you do the root 20? You need to find rational number and non-rational number. What is rational number? Rational number, what is rational number that you can multiply? Rational number and non-rational number. You can multiply that you can gain 20. When you said 5 times 4, 5 times 4. Now, 5 is in rational number, 4 is rational number. Now, you can now split as what? 5 times root 4. You split it like this. What is this one? You cannot get the answer. This one is what? 2. The answer of this one is 2. You write it because this one cannot get the answer of this one. You now be what? 5. That's the answer. Let me give you another one. 8, simplest one. Now, when you add this 8, this one, it is very, very important to understand what is going on here. Now, you find the what? Rational number and non-rational number that you can times together will give you 8. 4 and 2. 4 times 2. 4 is rational number and 2 is non-rational number. Is what? This one is 4. 4 times root 2. What is root 2? What is root 4? Is what? 2. And write the second one. That's root 2. That's the answer. The next one. When we have 12, can you guess the what? The rational number and non-rational number, which is what? 3 times 4. 3 times 4, it will be what? 3 root 4 times root 4. Equal to, this one will be what? 2. And this one will be what? Root 3. That's the answer. Now, let us now move to the what? The addition that we are still talking about. You must understand this in a simple way before you can understand a what? A complex one. Now, let us move to the next one. Now, addition. When we have root 20 plus root 20 plus root 2 root 5 plus 125. They say you should add this together. Now, you can split it. What is the number? The rational number and non-rational number. Now, that can give you 12. You can split it as well. What is this one? Is what? 5 times 4. This is rational number and non-rational number. This one, they have split it. 2 root what? 5 plus, what is this one? 25 times 5. It will give you what? This. It will now be what? 25 times 5. It will give you what? 125. Now, what is this? This one will be what? This one will root 5 times root 4 plus 2 root 5 plus root 25 times root 5. What is root 4? It will be what? 2 and root 5 plus 2 root 5 plus this one. Now, this one will be 5 root what? 5. You cannot add all of them together. 2 plus 2 plus 5. It will be what? 9 root 5. That's the answer. This is the word. This is the one that is very simple as ABC. Now let us look at another one that you can really understand what is going on here. Now, When we have 18 root 18 plus root 18 plus 8 root 8 plus root 50. Root 50. Now, can we do this? It is very, very simple. Split this one will be what? What is rational number and non-rational number? That's what? 9 times 2. Split this one. 4 times 2. Split this one. 25 times 2. Now, this one and this, you split it. That's 9 times root 2 plus root 4 times root 2 plus root 25 times root 2. Now, what is root 9? It has 3 root what? 2 plus root this one, 2 root 2 plus 5 root 2. Now, you need to add it together. You add this one, 3 plus 2 plus 5. That's 10 root 2. It is very, 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 very simple as A, B, C. Now, let us look at, now we are moving to we want to look at subtraction. I hope you are getting it. Subtraction. Subtraction in SURD. What do we mean by subtraction in SURD? It's still the same thing. Like when we have root 18 minus 5 root 2 plus, like this one. Let me have like 2. 2 is here. Now, how can we do this one? Number 1. You need to split this one as to what? 9 times 2. Minus 2 root what? 2. This one will be 3 root. As you know, normally know, this one will be what? 3. Will be root what? 2. Minus 2 root what? 2. Now, 2 minus 3. 1 root what? 2. It's still the same thing as what? Root 2. Very simple as ABC. Now, let us look at another one. Please, make sure that as you are doing it, make sure that you are writing it, and as you are writing it, make sure that you are writing it down, because that's the key of understanding. When we have 50, root 50 minus root 50 minus root 8 minus root 50 minus root 8 plus 3 root 2. How can we do this? Very simple, subtraction. Now, split this one. It be what? 25 times 2 minus rational number, non-rational number as what? 4 times 2 will give you 8. Plus 3 root 2. How can we do this one? This one will be 5 root 2 minus 2 root 2 plus 3 root 2. Now, what can happen? This one minus this will be what? 3 root 2 plus 3 root 2. When you minus this one by this, now you can now plus it. This one plus this, 6 root 2. Very, very simple as A, B, C. Now, we can really understand what is going on here. Let us now move to what? Multiplication. Multiplication in SURD. Multiplication. Multiplication. Now, in multiplication in SURD, we have a rule which is as a formula. When we have A plus root B because we are dancing it together. Let me give you a simple before we go to the complex. When we have root A times root B, the answer, this one and this will be what? Root AB. Root AB. Let me give you an example that you can really understand. When we have root 3 times root 2, in 3 times root 2, they are not the same thing. Now, you can times it, when you are timesing, it will be what? 6 root what? 6 will be what? Root what? 6. Notice that in addition that we did at that time, when we have root 2 times plus root 3, you cannot add it together. It's not possible to add it together. The answer you get the same answer. That's 2 plus root what? 3. That's the answer you get. You cannot multiply, you cannot plus this one together. It's not possible. But in multiplication, you can times it together. That's this one times this. Now, it will now be what? 6. Let me give you another one. When we have root 5 times root 2, can you give me the answer? This one times this is what? Root 10. Now, can you figure this one out? When you have like 3, root 3 times root 3 times root 3 times root 7. Can you give me the answer? This one and this is what? 21. That's the answer. Now, that's number 3. Now, let us move to the complex of multiplication. Now, the complex of multiplication. Now, the complex of multiplication, when we have A plus root B, bracket, this is what? Bracket A plus A minus root B. They are not the same thing. This one is plus, this one is minus. Now, how can we do this? It's what? You multiply this one by this, and you multiply this one by this. When they are the same thing, and they have negatives, look at this, A and B, root B, A and root B. The only one that is different is what? Minus and negative. When it is like this, you just turn this one by this, and this one by this. It will now be what? A will be what? This one and this is what? Square. This one and this will give us what? When you turn this one by this, we give you what? B. Now, notice that. I want you to note this one. Before I will give you this, notice this. Root A times root A is the same thing as A. Root A times root A, when they are the same thing, you are timesing it. Example, when you have root 6 times root what? 6. Can you give me the answer? Answer is what? 6. When you have 3 root 3 times root what? 3. The answer is what? 3. Notice that. That's why, let us go back to what we are doing here. Now, A times A will be what? A square. Now, you write minus times plus. Plus times minus is minus. And root B times root B, the way we said it is what? B. That's the answer of this. Now, let us look at the example, what this one means. The example. When we have like root A, let me use number, root 3, or we have 4 plus root 2, bracket 2 plus root 2. Like this one, and they put minus here. Like this. They are the same thing. The only one that is different is what? Symbol. Just turn this one by this and turn this one by this. This one and this is what? 16. And this one and this minus. And this one and this is what? 2. And this one I don't know. This is what? When you minus this one, 14. That's the answer. Very, very simple as ABC. Now, I want you to note something. When we have like this, A plus roots, when we have A, like, let me give you an example. when we have A plus root B and the bracket B or C plus root D. Look at it. This number, they are not the same thing. How can we solve this one? Is it very simple? By open the bracket. This one will be A. You write this one, you write all this one, C plus root what? D. Write this one plus root B. Write all this one, C plus what? Root what? D. Now, this one and this is what? AC. This one and this will be what? Plus A. This one and this is what? A root D. Plus this one and this is what? C root what? Root what? B. This one and this one will be at the back. It will not be inside. And what? This one and this is like root B times root D. It will now be what? It will be what? They are the same thing. It will be what? B and D. That's the answer. Now this one will be what? Plus B root what? B and D. That's the answer. That's the final answer for this place. Now let us look at the example, what this one really means. Now, I want us to look at example of that thing, of that question. Please make sure you are writing it, because that's the key. When you are writing, it will give you more understanding what we are really doing. Multiplication, don't forget. Now, when we have like this, 2 root 5 plus 3 root 2. Bracket again. 3 root 5 plus roots 2 root 3. Look at this one. How can we do this one? You write this one first, the way I told you. 2 root 5, write all this one. 2 root 5 plus 2 root 3. Now, write this one. Plus 3 root 2 and 3 root 5 plus 2 root 3. Now, this one and this, you turn this one by this, it will be what? 4. And root 5 times root 5, they are the same thing. Root 5 times root 5. Can you give me the answer? What? 5. Notice that. It will be times what? 5. Now, this one and this, we are times this one and this is what? Write plus on this. This one and this is 4. This one and this, root 5 times 3. Can you give me the answer? Root 3 is what? Root 16. Root 15, sorry. Root 15. Now, this one will be what? Root 15. Plus, this one and this is what? 9. This one and this is what? Root 10. Plus, this one, 3 times 2 is what? 6. And this one and this is what? Root 6. Now, let us see. This one and this is what? 20 plus 4 root 15 plus 9 root 10 plus 6 root what? 6. Can we add it together? No. Because this one have root 15. This one have root 10. This one have root 6. We cannot add it together. If it is just the same root, we can add it together. Now, that's the answer for this. Now, this is the answer for this. Now, let us look at another one that we can really understand what is going on here. Please, make sure you are writing. When you are not understand, rewind it back until you understand it one after the other. Now, we have two root 5 and then plus 3 root 2 and then 3 root 2, and then we can see that it is very, very simple as ABC. When we have 3 root 2 plus Let me put minus here. Minus, because we are doing multiplication, let me put minus and 2 root 3, like this one. How can we do that? Write this one first. 2 root 5, bracket, write all this one. 2 root 3 root 2 minus 2 root 3. Now, write this one. Plus 3 root 2, write all this one. 3 root 2 minus 2 root 3. Now, how can we do this? This one and this is what? 6. And this one and this is what? 10. This one and this is what? Minus. Put the minus. 4. And this one and this is what? Root 15. Plus this one and this is what? Can you tell me? 9. And what? This root 2 times root 2, can you get me? Is what? 2. That's 2. And plus times minus. Plus times minus. Notice that. Plus times minus is what? Minus. This one and this is what? 6. And this one and this is what? Root 6. Now, 6 root 10 minus 4 root 15 and 18 minus root what? Root 6 root 6. Now, look at the what? All of them. You can arrange it in a proper way. 6 root 10 minus 4 root 15 plus 6 minus what? 6 root 6 and plus 8. Do you know the reason why I put this one 18 different? Because there is no root. That's why I remove it. I bring all the one that have root together. And look at it. Do you know the reason why I don't minus it together? Minus it. This one is root 10. This one is root 15. This one is root 6. And we cannot add it together. That's the answer. Now let us look at this one. Let us look at this one. Very, very simple as ABC. And then when we have like this, when we have this, it is very simple as ABC. Let me put negative here. Negative. At this one, you write the same thing. 2 root what? 2 root 5. Write all this one. 3 root 2 minus 2 root 3. Write this one. Minus 3 root 2 bracket. Oh, write this one. 3 root 2 minus 2 root 3. Now, this one and this is what? 6 root what? 10. Minus this one and this 4 root what? 15. This one and this is what? Minus 9 root. This one, root 2 right times root 2. That's what? 2. Minus, look at it. That's one I want to show you. Minus times minus is what? Plus. This one and this is what? 6. And this one and this is what? Root 6. Now, this one will be 6 root 10 minus 4 root 15 minus 4 root, this one and this is what? 18 minus 18 plus 6 root 6. How can we do this? This one will now be what? We can arrange it 6 root 10 minus 4 root 15 plus 6 root 6 minus 18. That's the answer. It is very, very simple as ABC. Now, we want to drive to division. We want to drive to division. Division. It is very important to understand division. We are moving to the division now. In SURD. Division. Division in SURD. Now, when we are talking about division, now I need to bring it down. When we have like root A all over root B, like this one. Now, this one is telling us that when we have like this, it's the same thing as what? Root A all over root what? B. Now, you need to turn this one. Anyone that you see at denominator, you turn it twice. It will be what? 2 will be what? B all over what? Root what? B. This one you make it twice in division. Now, let us look at Division. When we are talking about division, in division, you must, let me give you an example of division. When we have like this, A all over root B. In division, you must not have the what? Your answer as what? You must not get your answer in what? In root. In division. That's why you need to do like this. Root what? A all over B. Root B. You now times it. Times this one. The root B, you times it twice. Root B all over root what? B. This one times this will be what? Root A, B. And this one times this is what? B. That's the answer. Let us look at the example that we can really understand what is going on here. Example, when they give us like 5, root 5 all over root 2. Now, when you have this, when you want to solve this, you just times this will be what? Root 5 all over 2, all over root 2 times this one by 2 all over root what? 2 equal to what? This one times this is what? 10. Root 10 all over this one times this is what? 2. That's the answer. Your answer must be what? This one must be in what? It must not be in what? In root. That's what we are saying. This one must not, your answer must not be in root. Let us look at another one. 2. Whether they give us 2 root 3 all over 5 root 2. 5 root 2. How can we do it? Just do like this. 2 root 3 all over 5 root 2 times only the 2 times it twice. It be root what? 2 all over root what? 2. As the way I do it here, I did it in what? Twice. It now be what? This one times 1. This one have invisible 1. This one times this is what? 2. And this one times this is what? Root what? 6. Now this one have invisible 5 times 1. 5. Now I want to give you something. When you have root 5 like this, you have invisible 1 here. Any root they give us, whether it is root 18 or root 10, you have invisible 1 here. Notice that. Now 5 times 1 is what? 5. And 2 times 2, root 2 times root 2 is what? 2. The answer, this one will cancel this. Notice this, very, very important. You can cancel when you have like root 5 and 5 is here. You can cancel 5, cancel 5. But you cannot cancel like this. When the 5 is here, another 5 is here. You cannot say 5 cancel the root 5. No. It is what? It is wrong. Now, the only thing you can do is what? You can say 5, root 5 all over 5. You can cancel like this. It is answer is what? Root 5. Notice that. Now, this one cancel this. That's why we have root what? 6 all over 5. Remain 5. That's the answer. Now, notice that. Now, let us look at the next one. The next one, by applying the division method. Now, we have root 3 all over root 2. And how can we solve this? Let me put another number 5. How can we solve this? Just said root 3 all over 2 root what? 5 times the root only. Root 5 all over root what? 5. Now, this one and this is what? Root 15 all over this one. You have a visible 1 here. This one have a visible 1, but you don't need it in that place. This one and this is what? 2. And this one and this is what? 5. Because root 5 times root 5 is what? 5. You now be what? Root what? 15 all over 10. That's the answer. Very, very simple as ABC. Let us move to the complex one. What is that we can really understand deeper. Now, which is the one that some of the students, they don't really understand. Now, when we have like this, when we have A plus root B all over A minus root B, how can we solve this? The only thing is that the way you are doing it, the denominator of this, you just said a plus root b all over a minus root what? B. Just turn the denominator. What you see in denominator, this is numerator, this is denominator. Turns it twice. This one, we just say a root what? B all over this one, because the denominator is minus. If we turn to what? Plus. We now be what? A plus root what? B. You turn it to plus. That's it. You now be like this. Now, that's it. You now be use this one to turn this one turn this, and turn this. Let us do that like example that we can really understand what is going on here. Now, when we have like root 5 plus like 2 plus root 5 all over 2 minus root 5, like this one. Number 1, you just do the same thing the way I told you. You just turn this one times what? This one will be what? 2. This one will turn to plus root 5 all over this one will be 2 plus the same thing, root what? 5. You now multiply. Now, how can we multiply? You now do that like 2 plus root 5, which is this one, and bracket 2 plus root what? 5. And all over, this one is multiplication. We have did that one before. This one will be what? 2 minus root what? 5, and 2 plus root what? 5. When we have like this, it is very, very simple as ABC. We can really understand. Now, we can even multiply. Let us see. Let us be doing it one after the other. This one will now be what? Write this one, 2. Write all this one. 2 plus 5. 2 plus root 5. And write this one, plus root 5. And bracket, write all this one, 2 plus root what? 5. All over this one, the same thing, down. But the down, when you are turning the down, I want you to notice, just turn this one by this. You don't need to do more. Don't turn it the way you turn it up, and turn this one by this. 2 times 2, 4. Now, minus times plus. Minus times plus, that's the way. Minus times plus is what? Minus. And root 5 times root 5 is what? 5. Root 5 times root 5 is what? 5. Now, you now open the bracket. You now be what? When you are doing it, 2 times 2 is what? 4. And 2 times root 5 is what? Plus root what? 2 root what? 5. And this one and this is what? Plus 2 root what? 5. 5, this one is what? 5. All over, root 5 times root 5 is what? 5. And what? This one will be what? Minus 1. This one is what? Minus 1. If you don't get it, you can go to our previous one when we are doing addition and subtraction. Now, this, look at it. We can really understand what is going on here now. Now, look at this one. 5 and 4 will give us 9. 5 and 4 will give us 9. 2 plus 2 will give us plus what? 4. Notice that will give us 4 and root what? 5. All over minus 1. All over minus 1. Now, the final answer will now be what? Because this one will now be minus 1 bracket 9 plus 4 root 5. That's the answer. This one, because you have minus here, you bring it outside and it will be the answer. Now let us look at example. Another one is the answer. And then let us look at another one. Let us look at another one that we can really understand what is going on here. Now, why don't they give us like this? Root 5 plus 2 all over root 3 minus 4 minus 3 root 3. Now, they give us like this. They said that you should solve it minus 3. Now, just this one, we just said the same thing. Put it here. Root what? 3. This one we turn to what? Plus. Root what? 3 all over root 3 plus what? Root 3. Sorry, this is what? 3. Now, when you are solving this one, it is very, very important to understand. Now, this one will now be what? Root 5 plus 2. You close the bracket with this one. Root 3 plus 3. All over root 3 minus 3. Bracket root 3 plus what? 2, 3. Now, what next? It is very important to understand little things in all this one. Now, we can now be doing it and what? Simplify it. This one will be 5. I'm saying that you need to do the 5. Now, will be root what? 5. Right, you are writing this, write all this one. Root 3 plus 3. Now, you write this one 2. You write all this one, root what? 3 plus root 2 plus 3. Now, all over. Now, I told you, when you are doing the down, here, just stand this one by this. It will give you all 3. This one, now, the minus times plus. Minus times 1 is minus. And 3 times 3 is what? 9. That's it. You don't need to do the way you do up. This one time this is what? Root what? 15. This one time this is what? 3 root what? 5. And this one time this is what? 2 root 3. This one time this is what? It will be what? 6. All over this one. What is the answer? Minus what? Can you give me the answer? Minus what? Minus 6. And the answer will be what? Will now be what? I've told us the way we do it that time. Now, which one that is the same thing that we can plug together? Nothing. That's the answer. This is the answer. That's the answer. Very, very simple as A, B, C. Now, let us do one more that we finish with the word SURD. Now, we finish with the SURD. Now, we still do the what? The equation in SURD. Equation in SURD. It is very, that's number 5. I think it's what? Separate video. Equation in SURD. Now let us look at another one. When we have 3 plus 2 root 2, and put minus here, and root 8 minus, like root 8 minus 18. How can we do this? Now, very, very simple as ABC. Just, when you are doing this, just split this one. I can still split. This one is root 2, 3 minus 2 root what? 2. All over. This one, when you split this one, it will be what? Root 2 times 4. Now, split this one. This one will be what? Minus 3 root. This one will be 9 times 2. Minus 9 times 2. It is very, very simple as ABC. Now, when we are doing it, this one will be what? Root what? 3 minus 2 root what? 2. All over 2 root what? 2 minus 9 minus 3 root what? 2. Now, this one, they are the same thing. The answer of this one will be what? Root what? 3 minus 2 root what? 2. All over this one. This one minus this will be what? Minus root what? 2. This one minus this will minus 1. And the same thing as what? Root 2. Now, our answer must not be in what? In down. That's why we have like this. Root. It now be what? Root 3 minus 2 root 2 all over 2 minus 2. Minus what? Minus root what? 2. Now, I've told us that you can times it. You now times the denominator. Root what? 2. Root 2. What you see here, the same thing. Minus root 2. This one will be plus. All over root what? 2. This one and this will be what? Who can give me the answer? You now said root 2. This is root 2 bracket this one. Root 3 minus 2 root 2 all over minus 2 root 2 times root 2. Now, can you give me the final answer? This one will now be what? Turn this one by this is what? It will be root 6 minus this one and this. It will give us this one and this. It will give us what? 4 all over this one and this will give us minus what? 2. That's the answer. And we see in next video. Thank you, and see about the equation in SURD in the next video. Thank you.
Okay, let's go.